He says there are two outstanding faults of capitalism. Now, sometimes Keynes is claimed to be a communist or a socialist. Nothing could be farther from the truth. Okay? He was vehemently anti-communist, and he wasn't sympathetic with socialists either. He said, when the revolution comes, I will be on the other side. Okay? He was trying to save capitalism. He wasn't trying to get rid of capitalism. But he said, capitalism has two outstanding faults. Minsky added a third fault. And it's not inconsistent with Keynes, it's just not what Keynes said in chapter 24. So the two outstanding faults are the failure to provide for full employment. Okay, that should be clear. The problem is effective demand. The second one is a little bit surprising, maybe, because he hasn't talked about it much in the general theory to this point, but it's that the distribution of income is inequitable and it's arbitrary. So there are two problems there. It's inequitable, it's not fair, and it's arbitrary. Okay, that might seem strange. Why is it arbitrary? Remember, he rejects the marginal product approach to, at least, the determination of the share going to capital. Okay. The share going to capital is due to scarcity. If capital weren't so scarce, it wouldn't get such a large share. Inequality he sees as being necessary. He says some inequality is necessary. We need to reward those who work harder and who are more innovative, cleverer. Okay, that provides the right incentives. But the problem is, if inequality gets to be too great, it compounds the problems of insufficient aggregate demand. Because the propensity to consume of low-income people is high. The propensity to consume of high-income people is low. So if the distribution is too biased toward high income, effective demand is chronically too low. So you need to shift the distribution toward the bottom. Again, all of these things should sound familiar to the current day because we've reached the level of inequality that we had in 1929, before the Great Depression, which Keynes was arguing was too great. It depresses aggregate demand. All right.
Just a question on that. That's strange. I mean, so he make a connection between the effective demand problem and inequality problem. But, well, why we cannot have a society in which labor people have just a substantial, like really low income? Then you have, okay, lots of rich, but then you have a state that make investment for the rich and keep doing this.
Well,
Nothing.
he is going to talk about the state taking over the quantity of investment, okay, and managing that. So that is a partial solution, and he does agree with that. However, Keynes also had this, it was an elitist view, but it also was a view that we need to raise living standards of everybody, that everybody needs to share in the fruits of increasing production. Remember, he wrote another piece, The Economic Possibilities for Our Grandchildren. He was looking toward a future in which people only worked a few hours a week and had a very high living standard, and by that he didn't mean that, you know, they were eating at McDonald's and buying lots of stuff at Walmart. What he meant was enjoying the arts, okay, which is what he enjoyed. So he wanted to democratize consumption.
What was the third Minsky?
So Minsky added a third, which is financial instability, which is also a fundamental flaw of capitalism, at least modern capitalism.